Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host, and I've just been listening to some of the stuff that Kier Starmer, our new Prime Minister, has been saying about trying to get the long-term sick into a job. So I'd like to set this challenge to anybody out there who watches this. Get me a job. Get me a job that I can do. Get me a job that I can hold down and that I feel safe enough to do, that I won't lose the first time I have a bad issue. Get me a job that I can do without it destroying my safe space. So let's go through the problems. My official diagnosis is on the ASD, autistic spectrum disorder, bipolar type 2, and ADHD, with PTSD as well. DWP class me as severely disabled. That's their decision, not mine. I use technology to keep myself calm, to keep myself focused, to remember to go to the bathroom. When I go up in the morning, I have to ask my Echo Dot, sometimes 30 times, what day it is. And by the 30th time, it'll stick in my brain. It's a big day if I manage to have a shower and change my clothes. It's a big day if I remember to go to the bathroom and I don't get constipated. Yes, my brain can be so fuzzy, so distracted that I will forget to go to the bathroom, that I will spend time and get constipated. I need to take laxatives because I've forgotten to go to the bathroom, to go to the toilet 3 or 4 days in a row. Everything I do is a coping mechanism. When I get out of my seat, I turn on my Audible book so that I can actually function in the house. I listen to an Audible book so my brain doesn't get triggered by anything around the house, so I can actually maybe do the dishes, remember to cook something, to do the laundry. These are big events in my day. I managed to do them. I'm very proud. Everything you see around me in my room is part of my treatment. It may look like a wonderful little, a man cave, a wonderful man cave here. Every single thing in this room is part of my coping strategy. When my brain's overwhelmed by modern society, I will go over there and play Space Invaders from 1979. And remember when I was 8 years old and 9 years old, and I was standing in that chip shop and I saw the Space Invader machine for the first time, and my brain relaxed while doing the relaxing, yeah. My brain's either in fight or flight at all times. I've had high blood pressure for my entire life. Why? Because my brain never relaxes. There's always something going up here. I sleep in 2 hours sections. 2 hours, that's the normal amount of time I sleep. I will wake up after 2 hours. Doesn't matter if I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, I will wake up at 10. If I go to bed at 10, I'll wake up at midnight. Go to bed at midnight, I'll wake up at 2. And then if I'm really lucky, I'll be able to get back to sleep. But then I might lie down with my head on my pillow, and all of a sudden I'll hear the pillow making noise. If I hear the pillow making noise, getting back asleep that night, I may as well get back up. And that affects my energy levels, that affects my coping strategies. Everything I do has to have a coping strategy, so it doesn't trigger a bad thing, so I don't have the PTSD triggered, so that I don't just sit in a corner for 8 hours. So tell me, please tell me, because I know how much of an achievement and a positive thing it would be to have a job, to have money coming in that I actually worked for. If you want me to leave the house, then we've got an issue, because I become non-functioning when I'm outside, when I'm around strangers, when I'm around people I don't know. The people that come to my house, I have to trust completely. Otherwise, my brain has to bring up an entire different set of coping strategies for someone being in my house. When they come to give me a blood test or check something in the house, I have to have pre-warning that they're coming. I can't go to my doctors usually, because just entering the doctor's surgery can cause a massive panic attack, to the point where I will end up having to call paramedics. I have trouble remembering things. I won't remember what I've said here after the video has gone up. I play computer games, but I have to play them in a specific way. And I can never remember the complicated controls. If there was a few recordings a long time ago of me playing Minecraft. I love Minecraft. But I stopped playing it because of the recipes. Why? What do I mean by that? I get the wood, I get the stone, get it in my inventory. I'd look at the recipe to make something simple. An axe, a sword, a shovel. Simple pattern. So I'd look at the recipe, look at how you put it, turn away, look to the crafting table, and I'd forgotten it. Then I'd look back at the recipe, Then I'd look back at the crafting table, and I'd forgot it. And this would happen 10, 15, 20 times. I have games that I've got many thousands hours in them, and I still can't do simple combination of keys for special moves because they're beyond me. For exercise, I use Beat Saber, but I forget which hand is holding which colour 3 or 4 times per song. And I can't have the arrows and hit the boxes in specific directions because my brain can't cope with that little bit on top. That's why my Alexa was triggered in another room for some reason. I would love to have a job. It'd have to be homework. But if I did work at home, then my safe space wouldn't be a safe space anymore. It'd be a workspace. People think I'm so lucky to have all this technology around me. I don't have all this technology around me because I would prefer to be here. I have it around me instead of being on medication. And I'm not on medication because the side effects for the medication did not agree with me. They tried all the normal treatments, what's wrong with me, and it didn't really work in 2019. But I'd love to have a job. People say, oh, why don't you do voice acting and things like that? I would love to. Bloody love to do voice acting and things like that. I'd love to narrate stuff. How would I remember to do it? How would I set myself a schedule and keep to it? And would this computer, which at the moment is a part of my coping strategy and a part of my therapy, what would happen if it turned from being that to being something that I had to do, or money would stop coming in the house? How would that affect my stress levels, my anxiety, my perception of time? How many times would I wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning with my brain wondering, what happens if your computer breaks? What happens if the power goes out? What happens if all these problems that already come up from would have another layer, because not only would the normal stuff, it would be, if this fails, you could lose your job. If this fails, money won't go in your bank. If this fails, you can't pay for dog food. If this fails, so another layer of stress, and everything would go on top of it. I would love to, be able to look at my bank account at the end of the month and say, that money came because I did this. If you can think of any job that I could do that wouldn't put me in a situation where it would affect all my coping strategies, where it would cause me to have to be in contact with people, where I'd have to work with strangers, where I'd have to do things at a set time because I have really bad time blindness, where if I had a day off, or if I woke up and my brain decided that I couldn't get out of bed for 8 hours, that it wouldn't affect what's going on. And a job that wouldn't be affected if I can't sleep for an entire week. Or I all of a sudden at 2 p.m. in the afternoon decide, okay, now I'm going to sleep, because if I don't sleep right now, I'm going to collapse. If someone out there can find a job that I can do that can mitigate all these problems and put me in a safe position where I don't have the fear and anxiety on top of everything else of losing that job if I'm just being me. With an employer that understands that you can't just shake it off. They can't just get past it. That if I walk halfway down the stairs and my brain or instantly says, oh, you know what? We haven't counted how many squares there are on the carpet. And I sit down on the stairs. And I sit there for 2 hours wanting to move on, but I can't move on until I've counted them. I can't move on until I've done that. That it's a complete roadblock, that there's no pushing past it when something like that happens. That sometimes just barely functioning is as good as it gets. But yeah, if you can get me something that I can do while all this is going on, then yeah, I'm not scared of hard work. You have to remember, when my wife was ill for 18 years, I did the job of 3 people, 3 nurses, from 6 a.m. in the morning to midnight at night, every day, no break, no day off, for almost 20 years. It destroyed me to watch this person dying, and the only way I could function was because some part of me, the love and everything, that nobody else could do it. I've been told that what I do every day to survive is actually work. I work at surviving, I work at being independent, I work at being able to go to the bathroom, I work at going downstairs, I work at remembering to let the dogs out, I work at cleaning up my desk, I work at organising my cables, I work at going to sleep at night. Work. And for looking after Paola, it was a perfect storm of love and focus, and I didn't really exist for those 20 years as a person. My entire existence was to try to save someone's life who was dying. If you want to recreate that for me, then there's a chance. Although I don't think I could do that again. Oh. Just another layer of stress. Because when that person from the DWP rings me up and says, what have you done to look for a job this week? Or, oh, we're going to have to try and get you back into a job. Are they going to understand what I face? Or will it just be another stress on top of me? I don't really know. Well, that's my current situation. But yeah, if anybody out there can think of a job that I could actually do, without it affecting me really badly, please let me know. Preferably a job where I don't have to interact with anyone. That doesn't involve people, strangers, maybe even a problem-solving job, maybe even a computer tech support, but not one where I have to actually talk to people. Because talking on the phone is exhausting. It really is. I'm terrified when I talk to people on the phone. Oh yeah, I'm not the worst. There's people like me all over the country. Chicken soup. Bye bye for now.